Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1142. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Madison Card Show yesterday. Big show, good show, successful show, fun show. Bought a lot. It was a lot of fun. I'm not going to share everything I bought because I'm going to be teasing you this week with quite a few. I bought a lot of Cubs. I didn't bring them in this room. I wasn't going to show anyway, but I bought some cool Cubs stuff. I will reach 1 million Cubs cards this week. This week, I will reach 1 million Cubs cards. In fact, it'll come on Friday. Now, I'm already almost there. So I am going to reveal what I picked up at the Madison Card Show. I'll have a new Cubs count later today on Twitter. I'm trying to figure out how to update my 1millioncubs.com website, the homepage. Let me see if I can, if anybody's familiar with WordPress. If anybody's familiar with WordPress, I'm getting this error. And I Googled it, and you know how tech savvy I am. So I'm trying to update the count because people are like, well, on your website, it says 700 some thousand. I'm like, yeah, I need to update that. So as I get to 1 million, trying to update it. So here it is. I'm going to share my screen. Any WordPress experts know how I can fix this. This is the error I get. It says there has been a critical error on this website. Please check your site admin email box for instructions. Learn more about troubleshooting on WordPress. I checked my inbox. I didn't have anything. When I typed, I basically Googled that line, and it says, you may not have received an email like this through this error. And I did some steps, probably not correctly, still wasn't able to figure out. So if any WordPress experts are out there, let me know. I would like to get back in. Now I can update other things on my website, but that's the homepage. That's the error I get when I try to update my homepage. I think, I haven't tried, but I think I can add new pages and add, I think what it said was one of your extensions or something could be outdated. So I'm at a loss. So there you go. So I will get to 1 million this week. So I'll have some updates later today. And then going into this week, I will reveal the last 99 Cubs cards to get to 1 million. I won't get to 1 million until Friday. And I don't even know what my 1 millionth card will be. So it's going to be a surprise, and you'll find out around lunchtime on Friday. So exciting things to come. I'll release more details on that this week. And so will other entities. So you'll find out. But I did pick up some good stuff yesterday at the Madison Card Show. In fact, mostly PC stuff. From a volume standpoint, I guess I purchased more inventory because of a late purchase. But certainly dollar-wise, I spent a lot more on Cubs than I did on inventory or other stuff. In fact, inventory, I probably only spent $30. So I'll talk about that. What else before we get into the Madison Card Show? There was one other thing that I wanted to touch on, and now, oh yes, I got a pallet finally. I've missed the last couple Goodwill pallets. If you're new here, I'm not going to tell you how I get them. So I won't share that, but I did pick one up. Well, I haven't picked it up yet, but I will pick it up tomorrow. So a Goodwill pallet came in. There's actually some good stuff, and I've talked about this before. That they will send. I will see pictures of the pallet, and they sprinkle like the good stuff on top. And what I've learned, and this is, I think this is going to be pallet number 16 that I've purchased. And what I've learned through the previous 15 pallets is that the really good stuff is typically hidden. And it's missed. You know, the Mike Trout rookie, which was in pallet number 1. That was in a plastic page in the middle of a couple hundred plastic pages. There was a Giannis ticket stub from his rookie year, his home debut, that sold for over $200. That was in like a trash bag. Like a couple Kobe rookies were in this nasty, like I literally had to wash my hands, and I probably should wash my hands after I sort through a lot of this stuff. But the really good stuff is typically hidden away in the bottom, in the depths of the pallet. But there are some good things that they sprinkle on top. This pallet on top, a few Ken Griffey Jr. rookies. There's a bunch of like low-end autographs. There is like a 1970 Topps rookie card, you know, like dual, like the two players, and both of them have autographed it. And they're not like mainstream names, but still cool nonetheless. So we'll see. I'll pick that pallet up tomorrow. So I'll have some even more fresh inventory for the eBay store, and probably some fresh inventory for the next card show I set up in Janesville on Saturday, April 13th. So we were talking about that. There's a lot of freaking card shows. April's just a bitch of a month. Just a bitch of a month because just the shows that I'm aware of, like the regular shows, not including other shows that, you know, I don't go to or I'm not as familiar with, or maybe newer shows. Just in our area, we've got Oak Creek next week. April 13th, we've got Janesville and Stevens Point. April 20th, we have Madison, Green Bay. And if you're over in Minnesota, the big Minnesota show, which a lot of, you know, the dealers from Chicago area will go up there. I lose a couple dealers. Surprisingly, I don't lose too many regulars to Green Bay or Minnesota, which I was surprised by that fact yesterday when I was, you know, there were a few that Matt and Harry Lambrick, they run the Green Bay show. So obviously I knew I was going to be down. They were going to be out. Badger Breaks, I knew they would be in Minnesota. Cardboard Bros will be in Minnesota. Max is doing Green Bay. Adam, who sets up downstairs, is doing Green Bay. Who am I missing? I think one more. And then I've got some others that they're not regulars that won't be set up in April. Eric. Who else? There was one. Oh, Tony is going to be in Strongsville. It's just in Strongsville, but you know, that won't affect us outside of Tony being gone. And I think there was one other just random absence for next month. But I was counting. I have 23 tables of first time or second time dealers already set up to come to the April show. So it'll be another sellout for the 3 ballrooms next month, April 20th, Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. I don't think we'll lose any traffic or much traffic to Minnesota. You know, maybe lose a little bit to Green Bay, but all in all, the thing is the hobby's strong enough to support these shows. Yesterday we had Madison and Rockford. You know, I did lose a couple, well, the Rockford guys, obviously, because they run the Rockford show. Tom was in Rockford, and then Gary, who's a semi-regular, was in Rockford. I think that's all I lost to Rockford. And I'm sure there were some regulars that normally would have been in Madison walking the floor. But all in all, it was traffic was good, not great, not as good as January, February, as expected. It never is. You know, we'll see. April will probably be similar. I think next month's traffic will be similar. And then I think May's traffic will be about the same. And then we'll go into the summer lull of June, July, August, September, and then we kind of start ramping up in October. So wasn't anything out of the ordinary. I've already got some bookings for the May show, which is Memorial Day weekend. For those that come to the Madison Card Show, if you stay at the Sheraton, we will have group rates available starting in May, which happens to coincide with Bratfest. By the way, I learned yesterday, so Ray is one of my dealers. He's in a cover band, a 90s cover band called the Foo Foo Dolls, which I love the name, and I haven't seen them yet, but I think I will this year at Bratfest because they're performing on the main stage on Friday before the Village People. So they're on the same stage as the Village People on Friday at Bratfest. And actually, Ray was telling me the lineup on Friday night. It's like, damn, that's a really good. So come on in on Friday and go to Bratfest because there's some local bands that are playing Friday night that are really good if you're into rock or the Village People or 90s cover. So Friday, Bratfest. We've got, I think he said 4:30 is when they take the stage. The Foo Foo Dolls, 4:40 to 5:20. They're on the grand stage at Bratfest. Wayland plays. So it's Foo Foo Dolls on the grand stage at 4:40. It's Foo Foo Dolls, followed by Wayland, which I think they're a regional local band. They're like country rock. They're really good. Wayland. They're on from 5:40 to 6:20. Tantric's playing on Friday. Holy shit. Tantric's on the Island stage. I love Tantric. They're a good butt rock band. Boba Flex. They're a rock band. They're on at 6:45 of the main stage. And then it's Madison County. They're a country, a local country band. They're really good, popular. Village People, 8 o'clock Friday night. That is May 24th. May 24th. That's actually a really good lineup, for a small, it's free. Like you don't have to pay to get into Bratfest. You have to pay for your brats and your beer, but the entertainment is free. So, hey, if you get there at 4:40 to see the Foo Foo Dolls, you can stick around, see Wayland, Tantric, Boba Flex, Madison County, Village People. So there's a little bit for everyone. That's actually a really solid lineup. So Madison Card Show yesterday. We'll get into that here in a second. Let's hit the chat. Uncle Rich, good morning. Good morning. Donald, what's happening? Happy Easter. It is Easter. I forgot it was Easter weekend. Friday night I went to the Sheraton, and so my new routine, and with more tables comes more work. The third ballroom, we have 40 tables in there. I bring in 20 of my own, and the other 20, or actually a little bit more than 20, dealers have to bring their own. If they want a space, there's space, but they have to bring their own table. So the State Street ballroom is completely empty with the exception of chairs. So I have to go in on Friday night and get that room set up. So basically, Friday afternoon, I go to the Sheraton twice on Friday. In the afternoon, I go just to make sure the rooms are set up, and I put name tags down in the Williamson ballroom, upstairs in the mezzanine, and in the Capitol ballroom. Then I come home, do more work, and then go back around dinner time and get some more stuff set up, eat dinner, have a beer, come home, wake up super early Saturday morning, and boom, it's show day. So I go in on Friday night, and my guy Will, who's bartender, and he also kind of helps set up some of the stuff. He's like, room ain't ready. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, church. And I'm like, what? I'm like, but it's Friday. And he's like, yeah, they got church. And one of the front desk guy goes, no. There's no church. It's Friday night. And he's like, you don't believe me? It's Good Friday. I'm like, oh. So I had dinner first. But it was nice because Bronco came down. Bronco was staying. Billy and Jacob from Baseball Card Exchange were in town. So we sat down. We were at the bar, and room was ready. And I'm like, shit, it's 9:30. That's late for me anytime, let alone when I have to wake up at 4:30 on Saturday morning. So it was a long day yesterday. Todd's in the house. Happy Easter. Good morning. Good morning, JW. Hoping for a Cubs win. A couple of losses. But you know what? We only have 160 games left. Got to win some. So it's the Cubs fan roller coaster. Oh my God, we suck. We lost 2 games. Like, take it easy. Take a breath. It's 2 games. Dan, good morning. Good evening to you. JW says, just purchased a 7-card order from you early this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Check it out, 99centcards.com, scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Link also in the description. I woke up. It's first time I've had triple-digit orders in the overnight hours in quite a while. I love seeing those over 100 on my eBay notifications. So a lot of shipping to do today and tomorrow. Happy Easter. Max in the house. Brian's here. James says Rockford was a good show. Found some gems. I found some gems for my own collection. Didn't find any gems for resale, but I did find some gems for my Cubs collection. Zach and Porter will be there. Sweet. Zach and Porter coming to the Madison Card Show, April 20th, Sheraton Hotel. Cooter's here. Good morning. Max says, show yesterday was great. Less attendance, but much, much better sales for me. Already ready to get back in May. That was the consensus I heard yesterday. And I could even tell the crowd was definitely down from January and February, which, again, was to be expected. It's Easter weekend. It's spring break. It's just the end of March. This is what happens. January, February, people want to get out of the house. Now we're starting to do a little more outdoor stuff. Probably some family stuff. So that was to be expected. What I didn't expect was so many dealers reporting great sales. So the money was flying yesterday, even with less people. So that's great. I would rather have all the dealers say, I did great. I made this much in sales. I did this better, than to have a picture showing a full room and half the dealers are saying nobody spent any money. It was all a bunch of tire kickers and window shoppers. So that was good. I love to hear the better sales days. Tantric likes to make their audience wait, but does Village People do an acoustic set? Tracy's in the house. Good morning. Happy Easter. Sal Dougie, good morning. Couldn't make the show yesterday, but will be at the April show. Sal Dougie's going to be back. Zach and Porter will be back. Cooter says, dude, work on the curve of the bill of your hat. The center bend makes you look like the Flying Nun. This is how the cool kids did it. Like me in 1994, you had to have that curve, man. Look at that. That's the perfect curve. No flat bills here. Hello, Orlando. What's going on? John says, gosh, I sure hope the Sheraton didn't charge the church group sales tax. They don't charge the Madison Card Show sales tax. Max says, missing 420 in Madison may be depressing for many. So it was a great show yesterday. I had fun. Didn't have too much. I did have some no-shows. I had a late cancel, but it was a bring your own table, and which actually was kind of okay because it was I forgot to do a total count in that State Street ballroom because I fill that effer up and it gets pretty tight in there. So I was okay with not filling it. I think there were 3 less tables in there than last month. And I had a couple of no shows, but I think 2 of the 3 that didn't show up paid. So that's good. Because you can't fill those tables at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning or 9 p.m. on Friday night. So It's annoying, but it is what it is. And especially the more, it's a numbers game, right? It's with anything. The more numbers there are, you're going to have issues. Only had one reported theft, and the dealer didn't report back. So he talked to me at the end of the show. It may have been a case of he just misplaced the card or it got put into a different pile, because he was going to text me the picture because it was a slab, which is obviously easy to track. So I said, send me the picture so I can post it on the Madison Card Show page. And he never texted me. So I'm thinking he found it. That happens a lot. This card was stolen. Oh, it was under the table, or it was in a different box. So that was the only reported theft, and there was no follow-up with that. So I'm wondering if it just wasn't theft after all. It was just a misplacing of a card. We had some, it was warm, which I think if we're card show regulars, that's something that it's going to be hot. It's when you get 1,000+ people in a room or multiple rooms, and there's just a lot of body heat. And I tell the hotel, like, every month, like, it's really warm. Can you crank the AC? Like, it's like uncomfortably warm. And I walk in, and there was my fear in one of the ballrooms at 7 a.m. when there's only 3 people in the entire ballroom. And it's like, whew, it's a sauna in here. When you pack that room with 500 people, 400 people, it's going to get uncomfortable. So they did mess with it, but it got better. And then eventually they cranked it. But we had an issue with a kid. Don't know what happened, but the AC was cranked at that point. So that was a thing. What's unfortunate about the way the HVAC works at the Sheraton Hotel is the lobby and the upstairs are on the same unit, or whatever you call it, system. And we have a mezzanine. So in the wintertime, and the door's opening and it's 0 degrees outside, it's really fucking cold in the lobby. So they crank the heat. Where does that heat go? Heat rises. What's on the second floor? An open mezzanine. It's going to get fucking hot up there. So unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that sometimes. And in the summer, and it's 100 degrees and the doors are opening in the lobby, it's fucking hot in the lobby. They crank the AC, and where does that air go? It goes upstairs, and it's freaking freezing ass cold upstairs. So unfortunately, we can do our best to control the temps, but it's never going to be perfect. It's either going to be a touch warm, or just hot, or it's going to be cool or cold. So plan accordingly. If it's winter, make sure you have a t-shirt, wear a coat, but we'll have to have coat check because it's going to be hot in the winter. Let's see. Where are we at? Max says, no curve at all. Looks like a carrot. Kyle says, good morning. We'll look forward to catching the replay. Sounds like a busy show on John Nolan Drive. Yes. Uncle Rich, since your next show is on 420, are you bringing in the proper accoutrements for your dealers and collectors? That's not legal in Wisconsin. That's not legal. You could do that, actually. I don't think they're really strict on the whole wacky tobacco in Illinois, where it is legal. But no 420 goodies. James says, always warm in Madison. Happy Easter, Merle. So my buddy Kevin, Unicorn Cupcake, had his encyclopedia of baseball cards. He had the originals, volumes 1, 2, and 3. And he told me, he's like, they're not in the best condition, but he also had this, the Encyclopedia of Baseball card, which obviously is a reprint, but it has all 3 volumes combined. And it's like, do I want the original or do I want all of the information? If I have the original, I have to buy all three. And they're pricey. And it's like, I don't think I want to spend that. So I bought this. This was $80, which I think is a good deal. Even though it says $44.95 on the cover. But that's what happens when you buy it later. Because when was this issued? 1983. Wow. 1983. But it's cool. So some good bedtime reading. And then he threw in. This is a reprint also, but I've talked about I want the first issue of Beckett, but I just don't want to pay $150 for a copy of it. So this is the reprint made in 2001 of the first issue, published in 1984. Obviously, it's got the same stuff. And really, it's like I'm looking through this and it's like, why would I pay $100? There's like nothing in here. It's a checklist from 1984 or a price guide from 1984. So I'll gladly pay a few bucks for this. He threw it in with the price of the encyclopedia. So, because and here's the thing. It's like when it comes to baseball cards, and I do have some reprints of some of those tobacco sets, but I'd rather have the originals when it comes to baseball cards. When it comes to the magazines, I'm not a magazine I mean, I collect the magazines, but I don't need the original, especially when the originals are going to cost me hundreds of dollars. So if there's a reprint available, I'm just buying them for the information. So that's why I just went with those. So I think that was my first purchase of the day, which was neither, I guess you could call that personal collection. It's not Cubs collection, but it is part of my personal library for baseball card magazines. I think my second purchase was Cubs from my buddy East Coast Tom. He's like, hey, do you have these? And I'm sure I have like some of them. And they're probably in, I've probably received one or two in a trade, like in a box of cards. They're 85 Topps Tiffany. This is the whole set, including the Topps traded Tiffany. 29 different. And I got these for $50. So that's a little less than $1 a card. Or wait. 75 cents a card. Obviously less than $1 a card. 75, 80 cents a card. So 85 Topps Tiffany. I think it's the whole set. Is Sandberg in here? I didn't even look. No Sandberg, but there's 29 different. It doesn't say set. It just says 29 different. So I thought that's a good price. So got those. So I'll get those added. And what else do we have? I'll save these for later. Just other Cubs. Somebody gave me these. I think there's 4 or 5 Cubs cards in there. I apologize. I forget many times. Somebody gave me this. I think Aaron, my dealer Aaron, gave me these Cubs. He's a basketball guy. He's like, I have no use for baseball cards. So thank you to those people. And I'll get my count updated as we go into the 1 million week for Cubs cards. Uncle Rich says those are great books. James wants to know if I'm setting up in Janesville. The answer is yes. I will be in Janesville Saturday, April 13th in my same spot out in the lobby. So come see me. I'll have quarter boxes. I'll have, I should have at least one new box of stuff that hasn't been seen. At least one box. Uncle Rich says, well, I think I can get that reprint signed for you. Oh, so the funny thing was, so Kevin had the original encyclopedia of baseball cards. All 3 volumes were signed by Dr. James Beckett. So I'm like, well, that's cool. That's cool. But I'm like, I'm just going to get all 3 combined in a reprint. Value Box Digger asks Uncle Rich, will you be with ComC on April 20th in St. Paul for the big show? Just Steph and Angela will be there. Cooter says, we are staying at an Airbnb this week. Evidently, the neighbors in the apartment next door smoke weed 24/7. So it's 420 every day in the hallway. Dave's in the house. I can't believe since I went to free shipping, it's been stupid busy. I just have one question. Do you ever get to zero? Need to be done ever? Ever? Yes. Maybe twice a year. Do I get to zero? Yes. About twice a year. And it lasts for about 10 minutes, literally. I got to zero before I left for spring training. And I think by the time I packaged the last order, I think by the time I got into and I boxed all the packages up to take to the post office, I think by the time I got upstairs and into my car, I had another order. So it happens, but it only lasts for a few minutes. So do I get to zero? Every once in a while, like twice a year? I'd say twice a year. Usually spring training, because I got to get completely caught up, and the national, right before the national. Those 2 times of year, I'm caught up to zero. But again, it lasts for about 10 minutes, and that's all. Happy Easter, Value Box Digger. Just listening while cleaning the office. Why must holidays make us put away cardboard? You don't have to do anything. Dave says, I went from 40 to 60 to over 100 orders a day when he switched to free shipping. There you go. Mikey's in the house. What do you think of the eBay buyer's premium? I'm not familiar with the eBay buyer's premium. I'm familiar with like the auction house buyer's premium. What is the eBay buyer's premium? JW says, what's the name of your eBay store, David? There you go. So what else did I pick? That's I also picked up, Dollar Box Adam was in the house with Brian, and it was great to meet Brian. Actually, no, I met Brian before. He's never been to the Madison Card Show, but I did meet Brian in Oak Creek. That's where I met Brian. And I think he might have bought some stuff from my bargain boxes, because I set up at the very first KI show in Green Bay. So Brian and Adam came down, and one of the first. So Adam is big into non-sport, and Greg, who has amazing vintage and pre-war, his buddy Jason has like kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. And he had like 2 boxes of non-sport. I'm like, oh man. And I'm looking through, I'm like, oh, Adam's gonna love this. And he was like, and Jason is very motivated to sell. Like what he brings, he wants to go home like empty-handed. Like he just doesn't want to take shit home. So I saw Adam in the State Street ballroom, and I'm like, hey, when you're done at this table, I need you to go to the Williamson ballroom, back corner. I can show you awesome non-sport. So a little bit later, I see him upstairs. I'm like, did you go? And he's like, no, I didn't go. I'm like, you gotta go. You're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. So I take him down there, and I thought he was going to buy everything, but he didn't. He cherry picked some good stuff out of there. So at the end of the day, and I actually was buying a bunch of stuff from the Ferry Brothers, one of our show sponsors, that set up right next to Jason. And I bought some stuff, and then I went through, their table is always like jam-packed the entire day. And so I was able to get in early in the morning, and then there were 2 baseball boxes that I didn't get to. So I went back at the end of the show to look through those boxes. And Jason he's like, hey, do you want these non-sport? I'm like, no, not really. And he's like, you can have them for free. And I'm like, for free? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So I get through my boxes, my baseball boxes that I was looking through. And I go back, I check out with Ferry Brothers, and then I go over to Jason. I'm like, are you sure you want to give me all this? And he's like, yeah, I don't want to take it home. And I'm like, and he's like, but if you want to give me $20, and I'm like, I'll give you 20. Yeah, I'll like $20. and it filled, and I threw a bunch of the stickers, like Aladdin stickers. I just threw those away. But I filled this 3-row box plus, because a lot of them are stickers, like all of that. I could have had for free, but I felt bad for like just taking it. So I'm like, yeah, I'll give you $20. So I was going through, and there's nothing like, at least that I looked through it briefly last night, but there was a stack of top-loaded cards that I wanted to look at to see what was there. And I'm like, there might be some stuff. There was some like Yu-Gi-Oh! And usually when I look at TCG stuff I know nothing about, I'll look at the date. And if it's like 90s, I look it up. But if it's anything new, like anything 2000s, I'm like, it's not worth anything. Max is probably like, don't do that. Ask me. So there was some like 1996 Yu-Gi-Oh! And, like they sell for $5 to $10 each, but there's like 8 or 9 of them. I'm like, well, shit, that's right there. There was a bunch of, what else? Like Michael Jackson, like the Michael Jackson cards from 1984. Some of the flag stickers from one of the Desert Storm releases, which actually sell for a few bucks. A lot of music, like a whole row of music cards, which I don't think they sell for very much, but it might be a case where I cherry pick some stuff out to list, and I might just be like, this is a waste, and then do one of our bulk sales, one of our YouTube live sales for non-sport. Non-sport goes fast, so now you know how much I paid for. You're like, I'm not paying you for $200 for a box that you paid $20 for. So Merle says, get that out of the trash can. There's still a bunch. Actually, it's on top because that was the kind of, I was just stuffing this box full. So yeah, I guess I could lot it up. We'll see. So maybe I'll run some auctions, like just lot auctions of Aladdin stickers and what else? The Mask. I don't know what these are. Madagascar. Shrek 2. There's a bunch of Harry and the Hendersons. So yeah, so that was a fun bot. It'll be fun. I love non-sport. Like, I don't collect it, but I enjoy looking at it and then selling it. So I'm not going to keep it by any means, but I will have some fun with it. You skipped mine. What did I skip? Let me go back. Merle. Did I skip that one? Happy Easter. That's the only ones there you go. Wait, he didn't buy the boxes. Thought it would be perfect for him, and it was cheap for what it sells for. And he could have had it for even less, for $20. Bronco did buy his basketball box, and I think he was carrying that thing around to like every dealer. And I'm like, are you trying to sell this? And he's like, yeah, $200. And I'm like, I'm looking through it, and this is the basketball box, and it's like all top loaded, and a lot of like modern rookies. And you know my thoughts on basketball. Ugh. And but one pile there were like 8 or 9 LeBrons, and I can move those. I have a buyer for those that I cash deal at a card show. Boom. Jordans, easy sale. There are about a dozen Jordans. There were some cheap autographs that, can probably sell for a few bucks each on eBay, but I'm doing the math and I'm like, yeah, it's just not, it's not working for me. So he got all the way down to like $100. And I'm like, it's still like, I'm doing the math on the Jordans, LeBrons, and autos. And like, it's just not, it didn't add up to $100. So I'm like, and the rest of it, there might have been some good stuff, but I'm just not into it. So I'm like, Bronco. So Bronco ended up paying, I think, $100 for the box. I think he was happy with it. Red Light 34, what's going on? Stop throwing stuff away. I know. I'll be throwing a lot of stuff away this week because I got another Goodwill pallet I'll be picking up tomorrow, and I usually throw a lot of shit away out of those Goodwill pallets. Merle says, you could have sold the Aladdin stickers in a lot. Get back in that trash can. I didn't throw too many away. Like maybe. Oh wait, I did throw a bunch away. I forgot. I threw a bunch in a what I couldn't fit in there. So yeah, I did throw a bunch away. If you go to the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive, you might find some Aladdin stickers. All Yu-Gi-Oh has the 1996 stamp, just an FYI. Really? Well, I didn't know that. I did comp it, and they all comp between like 5 and 10. I can show you. I didn't know that, so that's good to know. So here's some top-loaded cards. I'll just show off some cards. So there's the Doors, which I don't think those Doors Pro Set cards sell for much. Thor, Allure Upper Deck. I don't know what that is. These are always fun. The Topps Heritage News flashbacks, DB Cooper, Jimmy Hoffa. Those usually sell pretty well for like $2 on eBay. Here's Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. Let's see. I was hoping this was cryptocurrency, but it's not. It's Euro currency. So, wah wah. BVD advertisement with Phil Rizzuto. I don't know what this is from. This is from Comic Images 1995. Willy Wonka news flashbacks. Let's see. This is from, what is this? Top 75th Animals of the World. Pato. We got the Joker sticker. Another Brie Larson. I think she's the only actor or actress I know in Marvel movies. Silver Surfer. I don't think that's worth anything. Julius Boros. I don't know. Some 1960s something. I don't know what that is. Looks cool. 1968 Corvette. That's cool. Allen and Ginter. This was when I saw this, I'm like, ooh, what other Allen and Ginter is going to be in here? And that was the only one. Let's see. Bunch of Elvis. Where's the Yu-Gi-Oh? Must be I must have put that in the back. Okay, so it wasn't in there. Over here. Okay, here we go. Here's the Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh. Curse of the Dragon. These are all foils. And it looked like these all comp for between $5 and $10. DD Warrior Lady, Freed the Brave Wanderer. Anybody know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh? Because I don't, so I don't want to be like putting these on eBay and they're fake or not worth putting on eBay or whatnot. Griffin Wing. Triton Delta. There were some 88. I don't know what series these are from, but Garbage Pail Kids 1988. Can't stand it. Torn Sean. Tire Jack. This Garbage Pail Kid is a newer one. It's a refractor. This actually was like a $10 to $15 comp. So it's like, shit, that pays for the whole box. So that's just some of it. A lot of, like I said, Michael Jackson, Aladdin stickers, the Mask stickers, Harry and the Hendersons, a lot of the music cards. What it all boils down to is I probably will end up just putting this in a non-sports sale on YouTube Live. A few of those cards I might put up. It's kind of going to be like a rainy day thing, especially with a pallet coming in. It's going to get put on a shelf, and I'll get to it when I get to it. Let's see. Where are we at? Orlando says there was some great vintage at your show, especially like the 1800s cards. That's Greg. Yes. He's got a great selection of, he had actually picked up, going into this show, he picked up quite a few Goodwin champions. Didn't have any, he didn't buy any baseball, but he had a bunch of like boxing and other sport with the Goodwin champions. So he always has really fun stuff. He's got what is it? Helmar's chocolate or ice cream? Hack Wilson from 1927. Little pricey for me. but a nice card. Everyone hit the like button. Thank you, sir. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Next project for Bo, 1 million Harry and the Henderson cards. Max says there was some cool stuff at that table. I just didn't have time. I bought those 2 trays of minis from there. Sight unseen. Oh, I should have looked. I looked more at it. When I get donations, the overproduced era cards, I think about 5% end up in the trash. Yes. While a creased 1988 Topps Mario Soto card may be rarer than a nice, that's true. Not sure if anyone actually would collect those cards. Very true. You know RDJ and Scarlet, don't you? I don't know what that is. RDJ and Scarlet. Oh, Marvel? No, Scarlet. I know Scarlett Johansson. Is that who Scarlet is? RDJ. Is RDJ Robert Downey Jr.? I would know those two if those are who you're talking about. 1968 Atlantic Oil, if I recall, on the star. Interesting. American Oil. 1968 American Oil. The code you want to look up, the card buy is under the picture. Okay, so on like the, let's just grab this one. Delta, Drytron Delta Alteus. Under the picture. So this code says MP21-EN239. Oh, this is actually a 2020. Oh, what is this? Is this Pokemon? No, this is Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's in a Pokemon sleeve. All right. Okay. Max says Yu-Gi-Oh is the worst. Same art for like 20 different cards. Ooh, that sucks. James says, what cards drew you to the pallet? Or is it a blind buy every time? This is my 16th pallet that I bought, and I haven't been disappointed. There's been a couple duds, but even the duds are worth my time and the money I pay for them. So everyone is a blind buy. In fact, usually what I'll do is I'll look at the photos and then buy, but I just buy it anyway. So this time I have competition, so I've got to be fast. So I didn't even look at any photos. I could have bought. It could have been like, oh, surprise, this isn't what you're buying. So it's a complete blind buy. Max says, you said you didn't know Marvel actors. Yes, you know both. So, okay. So I know Robert Downey Jr., I know Scarlett Johansson, and Brie Larson. But I could not tell you what characters they play. I would have no idea. Like, gun to my head, no idea. I don't think I can say that on YouTube. I don't think you can say the G word. $1 million on the line. Who is Robert Downey Jr. in Marvel movies? And I'd be like, does he wear a red costume? So maybe I don't think he's Spider-Man. Robert Downey Jr. is Mr. Freeze. I don't know. He's probably blue. Let's look it up. Who does Robert Downey Jr. play in the Marvel movies? Robert Downey Jr. Is he Iron Man? Marvel. Robert Downey Jr. I don't know. It's taking me too long to find this. Somebody answer it in the chat. He does wear red. Okay. They've seen photos. He was in Iron Man. Let's just do, where's his filmography? Discography. Where's his filmography? Filmography. There we go. He's got his own page for his filmography. That's when you know you've made it. Iron Man. He was Iron Man. Oh, it looks like that's what he's always. He's always Iron Man, just different movies. All right. Good call, Merle. Got mine in Thursday. Yes, there's a nice reminder from Merle. Last day to get eBay supplies. Let me make sure. Did I get mine this quarter? Subscriber discounts. eBay shipping supplies. Oh, I did not. Code copied. Let's start shopping. I haven't used my boxes, so we're going to get more bubble mailers, and I'm probably running low anyway. What's the smallest? 8.5? Is that the small ones? Oh, wait, 6.5. All right. Let's buy a 200. And away we go. All right. Do it right now. Do it while I do it. Actually, I'm going to change the shipping address. I updated all of my addresses on eBay to my P.O. box. But there's some stuff that I want shipped to my home, like these bubble mailers. All right. I don't want to save that as primary. Oh, they won't ship to a P.O. box anyway. Okay. All right. Got to enter the phone number. All right. We got that. Oh, we got to apply the coupon. PayPal phone number. All right. This is annoying. Oh, I've got to save. Okay. Please check your. Okay. Now we've got everything. Okay. Your coupon has been applied. Pay with PayPal. We don't want to update the address. So get up, get in your eBay store, buy your supplies. Today is the end of quarter number 1. Yeah, we got to add there we go. How about that? 200 bubble mailers for $17. Can't beat that. All righty. So that's done. Where are we at? Robert Downey Jr. wears red. Iron Man. I am Iron Man. I've never been a comic book guy, but the movies are really, really well made. I don't know how many movies. I've seen Black Panther. Was that one? I've seen that movie. That was good. Like higher level than Christopher Nolan Batman stuff. The last Batman movie I saw was Michael Keaton. Red Light 34. You betcha. Red Light 34 put in a big order of Reds cards from my eBay store. Also, Poor Things movie that won a ton of awards is really, really good too, but don't watch with kids. James says, how do you get free supplies on eBay? eBay store coupon. You got to have the store. Yep, eBay store coupon. Good morning, Jonathan. Happy Easter. Max says it's under subscriber discounts. There you go. eBay store coupon. If you have the, I think if it's the $25 a month store, it's a $25 per quarter coupon for supplies. Premium store is $50 per quarter. I bought 200. I used my $50 coupon and I had to pay an additional $17 and I got 200 bubble mailers because 100 bubble mailers is like $35. So I would have $15 of unused coupon that I don't want to use it on anything else. So there you go. Max says, oh God, watch The Dark Knight. Best acting job I've ever seen is between Heath Ledger's Joker and Emma Stone in Poor Things. I don't movie much, more of a TV show person if I run out of interesting YouTube content. I only watch cheesy movies, and I love cheesy 80s movies. Horror, comedy, shittier the better. So that's what I had for today. We'll be back at it 7 a.m. Central tomorrow morning. And through the rest of the week, except for Friday. No Hobby Evolution on Friday. I will be getting my 1 millionth Cubs card on Friday. Details will be released this week. We are coming back after the game, so should have a review of everything that happened on Saturday morning, next Saturday. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store. Take advantage of my 7 or more discount. 25% off when you buy 7 or more cards at regular price. 99centcards.com. Link in the description. What else? Next Madison Card Show, Saturday, April 20th. Hope to see you there. Saturday, April 20th. We'll have another sold-out show with 175 dealer tables. All 3 rooms will be open once again. Saturday, April 20th. Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. All righty. Have a great Sunday, and we'll talk again tomorrow.